So thank you for coming and touring the pantry tonight. Even though we're a little delayed, just so that we get everybody introduced and so that I know who's in the room, I'm going to ask us to just real quickly go around and say who's here and what role you're in right now. So I'm Alyssa Webb. I'm a co-chair of the SAC and a parent.
I'm Sharon Simpson-Doboom, and I'm the secretary of the SAC.
Laura Jacobo, parent.
Irene Cornelli, community member.
Charlie Bobbitt, community member. I got invited over, so.
Terry Blackwell, principal secretary.
Melanie George, project manager.
Rebecca Acevedo Kenderdine, SAC community member, and sort of like a liaison for the Hispanic community.
Brookie Stander, teacher.
Edward McShack, community parent, and now parent of a child that will be in Mitchell next year.
Reverend Michael Bibbs, I'm co-chair of Mitchell and also bond liaison of Mitchell High School.
George Smith, principal.
Awesome, and I think there's some students in the room.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Kevin Dawson.
Did you say anything?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Did you say anything?
I'm the
There's two
senior
people back here.
and the core commander of Mitchell High School.
Okay, can you repeat that, Kellen?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Kevin Dawson. I'm the senior class president and also the core commander of Mitchell High School.
I am Fernando Sierra, senior, and one of the members of student council.
Okay, we missed a couple people in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, my name is Shelley Bibbs, and I'm Reverend Bibbs' wife.
And I'm Colonel Retired Joey Henson, the pleasure of being the JRTC teacher, one of the JRTC teachers here at Mitchell. And with Ms. Jordan, Mr. Still, and our amazing students to oversee the pantry.
Excellent. Okay. So thank you very much. That just really helps all of us know each other and for me to know who's in the room so that I am not remiss in not welcoming everybody properly like it's happened before. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to start with our student spotlights for this evening, which happens to be these two gentlemen.
Do you want me to run the video first?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's just a couple of minutes.
So we'll run the video first.
So, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, Karen Scher did this production video with our students here back right as we were grand opening. Karen Scher in middle of March had their annual fundraising luncheon at the Broadmoor. 1,000 people in a Broadmoor conference room looking at our students. It was awesome. Wow. We had a table, Ms. Jordan and I, Mr. Steele, a table of our students, and lo and behold, big surprise to us, our rock star students. So I was getting calls and texts from friends I didn't even know were in the room. Your students are so awesome. So it's a very proud moment for us.
Thank you, Colonel. All right, we ready, gentlemen? I'm going to roll the video here.
So here we are at the food pantry at Mitchell. And when you start, you first see this is the condiment section. These are just easygoing, quick grabs. We have the limit monthlies. We have also labels so that we have them in English and Spanish so everyone can read it, right?
And I've used the pantry a couple times as well, just because in this economy we're currently in, nothing is cheap. So my mom likes to cook a lot, so I'd be getting pasta, all that stuff. And then I'd be getting some snacks for my younger siblings. So
our Nourishing School Pantry Program pilot is all about putting the responsibilities of serving our community into the hands of students so that they can develop as leaders, as well as get closer proximity to needs in our community. So we're working directly with the students at Mitchell to develop and implement a school pantry that's both serving the staff, students, and teachers of the school, but also the greater communities.
This is one of the best ventures that I think Mitchell High School has decided to go on. And it just makes me feel amazing being able to help my friends and peers.
If people's basic needs aren't met, our students are hungry. They're not going to perform well in school if our parents are worried about feeding their kids, then they're not able to help them with their education, right? And their academics and their homework, right? If I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to provide you dinner, your math homework is gonna be secondary to that, so.
I know a lot of students, they're like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm just so hungry. Like without that, they just honestly just can't focus on their work.
I know it's timid for those who don't want to like really show that they need that help, but like don't be scared to reach out because we're here definitely to help with those resources anyone may need.
The Nourishing School Pantry program is allowing us to put the power into the hands of students in their community to address food insecurity. What's so exciting about this opportunity is that students are able to problem solve and also find ways to meet the needs that are unique to their communities.
It's a true blessing, so thank you to Karen Share and all the donating partners that Karen Share has to help us serve our students and our community.
Being able to switch and having a permanent food standing in this area and helping our community and our area around us, I think it's amazing. It's the best thing that we could have done.
So those two students were some of the other pantry members. They've been there from the start, Paola Martinez and Lucy Ruiz Smith. You heard from them, firsthand how they think about the pantry. But we're here to tell you just a little bit more about, kind of how this runs a little bit. We had this wonderful logo designed by our assistant principal. And if I'm correct, we're going to get similar to what we have out here, right?
We're working on that. Yeah, it's called a wrap. Yeah.
Wrap.
Yeah.
For our window there, so it can really stand out when you walk in. Next slide, please. One more. Okay. So this is just some of the stuff we like to let you guys know. We are on a 2-year partnership with Care and Share. What that means is we're under their pilot program where they picked 2 schools, one in a rural area and one in an urban area, where they will place a pantry in and see how it affects the school. Depending on how we do and how they do in the next 2-year time frame, we may still be under that program, or we may be full-fledged members where we have our own pantry dedicated to us at all times that we own. This pantry is ran by Mitchell students with guidance of teachers, staff, and admin. What that means is the different groups we have inside of the school, whether that be the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club, ROTC, and the Student Council, we've all worked together to make sure this pantry stays up and running and is open every week. We also started in January of 2026, so we are very new, not even a year old yet, but we've learned a lot in that time frame, whether it was the construction of the room, because that room was not opened in, over 30 years at least. I think it's, 71 was the last time that room was used?
Possibly.
Possibly?
No.
No? Sooner than that?
Yeah, it was in the 1990s that it was closed.
1990s was it closed. So it hasn't been open for 30-something years. And as it stood, Mr. Steele was using it for our food in there, for his, as him being the community liaison, he was using that to store his clothes, for all of, the backpack program, for anything that the students may have needed. But now, with us having reopened it, basically to the public by this point, we ripped everything out. Every single one of those cabinets that were in there had doors on them. We had to pull all of those off. We repainted the entire room, tried to bring a lively feel to it, and organize it in a way that we figured would be perfect for a pantry. We get 2 deliveries every month, the first and third Tuesdays, where Care and Share brings a truck to Mitchell High School, and we have our students unload that truck and bring it to the pantry, organize it in the way that flows and works. And in those times, they bring whatever we've ordered through, is it 2 weeks in advance, sir? 2 weeks in advance. We also get to go to Care and Share's warehouse and pick up food from them. They have this program called a la carte, which means any of their leftover food and or stuff that they just won't throw in crates for us, means we can just go in there, pick stuff that they have. A lot of times it is bread products, but there's been times where they've had extra vegetables and extra fruits that we've been able to pick up and bring to the pantry. We are open every Wednesday that we can at least, unless of course we have a school closure, or if we want to reschedule, do maybe an assembly. We try to keep that date because it is as close to our pickup date and delivery date as possible, so we can keep the food as fresh as possible. From 12:30 to 3:30, our students and staff have full access to it. During passing periods, students can come by and grab food. We also have lockers for our non-cold items, so they can keep that food inside of them and have them locked, and they can pick them up at the end of the day in case they can't carry around a bag or two throughout the entire day. And from 3:45 to 4:30, we get our community members that have signed up on our app that we were introduced from by Mr. Britt of Coronado's Cougar Care. He introduced us to that app, and it allows them to pick specific times in 15-minute increments for them to come in, get their food, and for us to be able to keep kind of their privacy there, because we keep it to a very small minimum of people inside of that time slot and inside the pantry at a time. On this page, we show what we ask our students, staff, and community members. First off, I'd like to mention we ask for no names at all. We have a very big emphasis, and especially what Paola said, we want to keep privacy a standard here, right? For those of us that may be kind of adverse to going in there and don't want to show that we need help, even though it's at times it's kind of not smart of us to do that, we do understand that that is something that may happen. What we do ask for, though, is we ask if it's their first time being in the pantry. Some of these questions come from Care & Share, so they can better set their program for either more schools or so they can edit it differently for us, right? So we ask for community household size, first time visits or not, and who's coming in. So if it's a student, if it's a staff member, if it's one of our community members, or if it's a parent of a student. We ask that just so we can get track of who's coming in, and so we know how many families and students and staff we're feeding every week and every month. Mr. Smith. On this has our specific data. 74% of the population that comes into the pantry and breaks up food is students of Mitchell High School. This is our monthly data for March, so last month. Around 21% is Mitchell staff. So with that, we can see, okay, this is what we're looking at for this month. This is what we're going to send to Care & Share so they can get an accurate data count. With it, we have some outliers with 7 parents and 5 community members have coming in March. So they, we can see, okay, what are we not reaching in these cases? How do we bring more people in? Right now, we're averaging around 70 visitors a week, 50 to 60 students at a time, pending, and then around 3 to 5 community members and parents coming in to visit us. We still are getting first-time members of the food pantry. However, as you can guess, that is going down very fast because we keep getting repeat customers. Mr. Smith? On here, this is the summary of some of our orders. This has 12 of them on there, and if you look up top in this area, it has that $337.32 number. Not everything from Care & Share is free to us. So with donations of staff, community members, and some students have brought in food from what they have, some canned goods. With some of those donations, we're able to buy more items like our beef, our chicken. Sometimes our eggs aren't always free to us, but we still try to make it a point that we get those in, right? As it is very important for our students to be well fed and well rounded in their meals, as well as their families. And on here, each one of these are orders from 2 weeks prior to when we will get it. And with that, we constantly update that because CareAnsure does not always have an exact knowledge of what they're going to have in that next 2 weeks. So we check it as often as we can because they may have extra food items. So 1 week, they had an extra influx of watermelons because it was that season. So that at the beginning of the week, that wasn't there, but by the end of the week, it was, and we were able to order that on. Here is our next week pickup. This is just some of our items that we're going to get when we go to CareAnsure's warehouse. They will have it set aside for us to just load up in one of our activity buses and bring back here. We do this every Monday that we can, every Monday that they have it, we try to go there. Some of the items are some of our cereal, right? Trying to get breakfast items, macaroni for meals. We have chicken that comes in a can for other meals, and items like this. And they can either come by case or by crate. And what that means is each case usually has a specific quantity of that item in each. Like our honey is 3 by 4 by 2. So that's how many we would get in that individual case. So sometimes we order an extra amount, like our chicken, where we ordered 3 cases. So 18 times 3 is how many we're going to get for that order. Mr. Smith? And for our next steps, what we're going to do, past this point, once our seniors of this year go, we're going to continue the partnership. CareAnsure has already stated that this is a 2-year program. 2-year school year, not 2-year fiscal. Which means the 26-27 school year will still continue to be open, and by that time, the students that are running the pantry by that point will sit down in a room with them and hash out what we've learned through this time and how we can improve, any ideas for them, how they can better set this program, and how this program has benefited us. We also will continue to study the Coronado model. Coronado has Cougar Care, which they have helped us from the very beginning when our mobile food pantry that was coming by on the first and third Tuesdays as well. When they left us to go more north because there was a huge need up there as well. When they left, Coronado was working with Mr. Steele diligently, as well as the school, so we can have an opportunity to get a chance for this program. They worked hand in hand for the paperwork and everything that was needed in that case, so we could get this pantry here. But with that, we're going to follow their lead and learn from them, because they were not on this pilot program, but they have been around for 22 years, if that's a correct statement. 22 years they've been open, and in the past, I believe, 5 to 3 years, they joined CareAnsure, and they've been they've been working with them, picking up food from there. So we're going to really closely study that so we can get an academic period for our pantry, so we can get credits for our students in nonprofit management, which is similar to, which is exact to what they do over there, and so we can have this pantry open more and more. But that's it. Any questions?
Yes.
After the 2 years, what happens then?
You know this one? Okay. So after the 2 years, like I said, the students that will be running the program, they will have conversations and talks with CareAnsure, who's running this pilot program. They will first look at how the school has improved or has not, but as it looks right now, Colonel and I just went over this Tuesday, actually. From this year to last year, even though it has gone down, right, because we're in the middle of the year, no one has that, you've got to get that academics in before the last month yet. But in comparison, we actually have raised, and almost every grade level has gone up by a small percentage from this time in March, March timeframe to now. We were going over that Tuesday so we can learn. Stuff like that is what we'll talk about with CareAnsure, And from there, we'll see, okay, hey, the school has improved with this, and we're going to make this a full program instead of just a pilot, is what we're hoping for, what we're hoping to happen. If not, they're going to look at it, see if we're going to switch and continue with the pilot program, or next steps in that case. Right now, I cannot say, because we're still a year out, exactly what will go on in that conversation. However, the students that will be there will be taking charge, and right now, what we did is we had a group of seniors and a group of juniors from the start, so they can learn how the pantry works, and they will have 2 years in the pantry working with it, so they really know. And of course, they will continue to get more and more students between them, sophomores and freshmen, so they can keep coming in and to keep this pantry alive.
Thank you.
Quick question about summer. Is the Marauders Market going to be open in any capacity over the summer?
So that's a discussion we have yet to have. Colonel Henson has volunteered himself a little bit. If students are able to get here, depending on their schedules over the summer, I know at least one of our students will be out for most of the summer because she will be on a program. However, in that case, it will really depend on the need.
So what will happen to the food that's left over at the end of the year if you're not open in the summertime?
So, yes, a lot of it on that last week or weeks that we're open, we're going to push, take as much food as possible. Luckily, a lot of our goods are canned, so they have a great shelf life that will last the time. If not, for items like bread or any of our fresh food items, we're just going to push for those to get out. And then anything we have left over, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to donate.
Well, usually we don't have perishable items or very many left over even after a week visit in the food pantry. So I don't think we're going to have that issue of any food going bad. And again, the canned goods or canned items that will be left have a long shelf life. So we're good there.
I commend you guys on what you're doing. I was over at Coronado this afternoon, and I guess since I knew they had a pantry there, but I think they must have just started getting rid of the food overstock they had in there, because all those kids I saw coming out of Coronado had grocery bags with them. They all, I mean,
that
it
happens
was
every week. You just have to be there on that day. They generally don't have an overstock. Their pantry is smaller than ours. And when you talked about longevity, that's why we're working with Coronado, because they actually started their pantry. They have their students are broken up into groups, fundraising, social media, partnerships, and so that is what our students are working on in order to create longevity for our pantry as well. We're not leaving anything to chance. It would be nice if Care and Share extends the pilot, but we're not going to count on that. So we do. Coronado is kind of like our plan of action.
And that's part of the reason why we're going to try to move forward to get that nonprofit management class so we can keep it running.
Yeah, because I seen so many people coming out there with grocery bags today. I was wondering what was going on. But then to come in here and hear what you're doing, I see how it's working.
Are you going to advertise in any way for donations to come from the community? Because, everybody in the Mitchell attendance area, of everybody there, I'm sure there are some people who would be willing to donate.
Yeah, so we actually did push for that. We actually did spread the word around. So most teachers and our security, in fact, also donate snacks and also canned goods. Like one of our security guards brought Gatorade, protein bars, some canned goods, some tuna, some extra stuff. So we are really pushing, and we are also getting a lot of donations from the community.
So I have this follow-up, Fernando. I don't have kids in school now, and if I were not on the SAC, I might not know anything about this. So my question is, how are you getting the word out to everybody else.
So as we look at this,
Thank
because
you.
I know you guys are like, what?
Yeah, this
right?
one's a hard one for me to
As we
answer.
talked about the model with Coronado, we will have a marketing team, and so that is some of the things that they're working on. How do we reach out to local businesses around our community and then do mailers to the residents in the community as well? So that marketing team will be working on that.
Thank you.
But
And-
as parents, do we send, like I don't know, so my son is coming as a freshman next year, so I don't know much right now about Mitchell. But do we send newsletters? Do we have something that says, hey, if you want to donate, parents that, is that a possibility?
We
for
have
them?
our Marauders Weekly that
Oh,
goes
okay.
out to the parent community. And
Perfect.
so we will start to advertise in that.
Great.
I think one of the things that we want to make sure is that we are able to accommodate everything. So we're trying to get our students acclimated to running the pantry, what that operation looks like, how to restock, all of those things. And so as we move into the next school year, you will see more information coming
Great.
out because they're prepared now to handle a big influx, I think. Would you say, Colonel?
Correct, yes.
But
One-
wow, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One thing I did forget to mention, and we can go back to questions right after, the standard, could you hold that back up, please? So this is one of the bags that we send out to teachers. We try to send out as many snacks as possible to teachers because, while we don't do any outside food or drink, this comes from inside our pantry, and it also allows teachers to give students a chance to know about the pantry if they don't already with it, we try to give them monthly-ish, right, Colonel? So monthly-ish is when we send those out.
We're kind of doing it on a weekly basis because the demand is there, as Ms. Standard can attest to.
I can attest to this. I think I've seen you twice in the past week. I've gotten 3 bags worth. My student, some students just come super hungry. Some really do not have resources at home. We don't need to know their situation. If they're asking for food, we have something to give them. And usually they're not asking for a lot. They will very happily take an oatmeal bar. They actually love these things. But it ties them over to lunch, it ties them over to the end of the day. They've been incredibly, incredibly helpful in my classroom. Thank you. And thank you.
So, well, after the 2 years that you're under the care and share, then will you still be able to get stuff from them after that time frame? Or?
Yes, sir.
Most likely, sir, and I tell you, every interaction Ms. Jordan, Mr. Still, and our students have had with Care and Share, they just gush. They love our students. Hence is the reason they invited us to the luncheon at the Broadmoor. At worst case scenario, we would be like the Coronado model where we have to go pick up. I think they're very happy with us, the way we're running the pantry, meeting all the food safety standards, filing all the required reports. So the pilot, it just provides us the delivery twice a month. That's kind of the difference between us and Coronado. Coronado has access to Care and Share, the same access we have. They just have to pick up every week. We pick up every other week. So I think worst case scenario, 2 years from now, if the administration, the SAC, the community, the students and the staff want the pantry to be here, it'll be here. It just may need a little more parental involvement. If Mr. Urban at Coronado, he teaches all day, so he's got parents, and former parents doing the pickup. So that's probably, I guess one of our charters and tasks moving forward to get some of that other outside involvement.
When we did start this program and kind of got a booklet, when we went to Care and Share, learning about what this pilot program will become and how it will look, this first year mainly is meant to be construction. Making sure the pantry is starting to run smoothly, starting to get in the habit of getting those documents in, trying to understand how to properly get the orders filed, because as it stands now, students and staff are doing those, and I see that continuing, very far, but trying to get more of that student working that part, trying to understand how to do it, and so we can teach it for the years to come. Next year is the year that it's our expansion year, basically, where we will be starting to branch out, possibly get more donations from families and students, and getting that media presence there, getting an expansion of the pantry for some clarification.
Wow, thank you so much.
And Fernando was part of the state soccer team this year, so they went to state. He was the goalie. I just thought, well, there's a little audience to bring that back. That was all the way back in the fall, but very involved student. Callan's involved in a lot, and then one of the students, Lucy, who was in the video there, has been accepted to the Colorado School of Mines, one of the top engineering schools in the country, maybe the world, and she's been accepted. I don't know if she's planning on attending, but she's been accepted, so that's pretty impressive. So, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, very nice. How exciting. Keep up the good work.
You guys are free to go. Yeah, take a water and a snack.
Along with other highlights happening here at Mitchell, we have a few other things that have come out this week to share. So, Mr. Smith, if you want to talk about the stamp results, what that is, real quickly, and then is it called ballotary? The award. Ballotary, the military, it was an award. And then the university overnight field trip.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the second item you're talking about, but stamp test is a test for the seal of biliteracy. Is that what you're maybe referencing, Alyssa?
That was the first thing.
Yeah. So 9 students. Through our Spanish world language programming, 9 students have passed the stamp test, which certifies them with the seal of biliteracy. So they are proficient in not only English, but in this case, Spanish, and they can use that to open doors of opportunity for them moving forward. It's our highest number of students receiving the seal of biliteracy this year, though we've had many students in the past earn that. This is our largest number, and we're anticipating there will be a couple more before graduation. So that was the first one, and then we sent 24 students up to DU as well as Wyoming on an overnight trip. We had 3 staff chaperones, one of those being ESP, one a community partner from Peak Education, and then our one of our counselors, grade level alpha counselors, went up there as chaperones. So we're starting to see that staff investment, also the student investment in getting those peak experiences and getting exposure to those post-secondary opportunities, college and career, which is part of our vision statement, which you can reference on the website.
What schools do they go to?
DU and Wyoming. So right up I-25, a couple stops.
This was through the Future Center? Was it coordinated through them?
It was coordinated through the Future Center. We've been running that even before we had a Future Center. We've been running overnights through title funding primarily. Ms. Jordan led much of that work before the Future Center, but now that we have a dedicated Future Center, Lisa Montez, Valerie Skates, Stephen Anderson was the counselor who chaperoned. Victoria League was the female chaperone. She works in the attendance office. And then Keyshawn Cooks, who is our, I call him a staff member because he's here every day, and he loves being at Mitchell, but he's our partner through Peak Education. But we've been running that. In the past, we took overnight trips down to the University of New Mexico. Valerie, where else have we gone?
On our New Mexico trip, we stopped at New Mexico Highlands and we visited the University of New Mexico. Last year we went to Fort Hays.
Mm-hmm. So we've been doing it, but we're happy to say that Future Center is driving that work now. It's more focused work at this point, and so then we can branch out and do work in other places because we have dedicated staff to execute that.
Any more comments or questions about either of those things?
And how many students?
24 went on the overnight trip, and then 9 students have earned the seal of biliteracy. We're expecting, fingers crossed, I think we're going to get 3 more students to get the seal before graduation.
And I'll just quickly comment on that seal of biliteracy. I was talking to Ms. Pike, who is mostly spearheading this. She was telling me that to get that seal, first of all, she said it's an incredibly challenging feat for these students. It's not like they can just go in and like lazily work through it. They have to read, write, and speak in Spanish and English at a very, very, very high level. So these students who are putting in the effort, they're putting in a lot of effort to do it. It is quite impressive. We have really amazing students here. So,
yeah, good points. Yeah.
Do you happen to know if the test that, is it administered through the ACTFL, which is the American College of Teachers of Foreign Languages? Because it's really a stringent test.
I do not know,
I don't know
that answer.
Okay, thank you.
Claudette Merther would have that answer
Okay.
Because she works in partnership with Joe Pike, our Spanish teacher.
Okay.
And they've done a nice job of, promoting it and getting students to test.
Now, do you have any numbers on approximately how many of the graduates this year will be utilizing now the D11 promise?
I don't have numbers on that right now. Right now, we do have 137 seniors. Unfortunately, I'm not confident 100% of those 137 are going to graduate, at least on time. But what I can tell you is there hasn't been one student who has ever either met the requirements or haven't met the requirements and put in a request for review for extenuating circumstance that has been denied. So I don't have numbers, but I could tell you that that's a fact.
Yeah. Is that something that's solved pretty hard at the school?
What's
make sure the students
the D11 promise? Yes, yeah. We continue. So really, there's 3 slogans, if you will, that we push: on track for graduation, B's are better, and the D11 promise. In terms of that, it's not free, right? Because the kids earn it, but that opportunity for them after graduation to go to Pikes Peak State College.
Does this, the STAMP biliteracy, does this help them get a scholarship of some kind?
Jobs, scholarships, internships, you name it. I mean, I'm studying Spanish myself, and I've gotten quite a bit better in the last 5 years. But you know, these students, some of them still children, literally, because they're not 18 yet, are going to go into the world more equipped than me as a principal in terms of being able to communicate ideas and thoughts to a diverse population of people, depending on the language. But absolutely, it's going to open so many doors for these students.
Great, that's great.
That leads me to another question. Are those students who have earned the seal, are they, do they come from bilingual household or Spanish-speaking households? Are they heritage speakers?
I think primarily, I'm taking a shot in the dark here, to be honest with you, so don't quote me on this, but just from my feeling of being in this building for now going on 5 years, most of the students who are able to pass that seal of biliteracy are coming from heritage speaking backgrounds and just have been really immersed in English language.
Yeah.
It's almost like a flipped, if that makes sense, versus having English as the background and
That's
learning
right.
Spanish. Yeah. Yeah, it's more coming from the heritage speaking of Spanish. And it's primarily Spanish where the students are getting that seal. You can get it in other languages, of course, but heritage speakers who have actually become proficient in English, which is impressive.
It's kind of funny that you guys are talking about it. I didn't even know that you were going to even bring this up. But today, and I was talking with Rebecca earlier, my concern as far as with the bilingual, I was able to talk today to Gloria Martinez, who's actually a Democratic representative of bilingual, and she's willing to come to Mitchell to try to help us, like the certain programs to help with certain languages actually come into the school. I actually went to go meet with Edward Morales, who's a bilingual independent living skills specialist, and he deals with bilingual and the stuff that you're talking about, and they're willing to come to Mitchell and try to help us. So those are I know that's probably outside of the SAC program. That's a passion, and I'm just trying to find ways to help build our school, and that was on my heart to do. And it's funny that you're talking about that, and I'm praying that they do keep their word and that they do come and try to help us, and not only help us with that, but also help build our enrollment at Mitchell.
So, I'm just curious. How employable do you feel that, I mean, ones that aren't going to post-secondary, are the students coming out of Mitchell? In other words, is there something you're doing to try and make sure that as they graduate from Mitchell High School that they're...
Yeah, actually, that's, I think, I don't want to assume, but I think in some of my slides that I have prepared tonight, that might answer your question. And if not, bring it up by the end of the session. And if I don't answer that question in some of my slides, I definitely don't mind revisiting that.
Any other discussion? Okay. A lot of good things happening around here. Let's take care of some old business real quickly, and that would be for the update on the safety and crisis response.
Okay. I am pulling up my items because, let me see if that'll pull up for me. There we go. All right. I did ask Terry to send a PDF copy of my slide deck to participants tonight. If we don't have your email, I see a couple new faces. Just make sure you stop by with Terry. Give her your email, your best email address. We'll make sure you get this slide deck that I'm presenting here tonight. 316 to the old business piece here. I'm seeing on the agenda report on staff training on alarms and evacuations. Happy to report on the 16th, the last district professional development day. The AM session was over the model of instruction and DDI. DDI stands for data-driven instruction, for those that don't know, and progress monitoring. That was the AM session, and that was that included the Southeast area cluster just for secondary. So Mitchell hosted Swagger and Galileo in that morning session, specifically to address the model of instruction that we are putting forth as a district, and which is also mandated by our pathway plan here at Mitchell High School.
Is that IE? Sorry.
Yes, yes. Yes, instructional empowerment. We are going away from just so we can get SAC support as well on this when we're having conversations. We are referring to it as the Mitchell High School model of instruction because we're hoping that IE will not be partners forever. That's the goal. And so when IE goes away, and notice I said when IE goes away, we're not going to say IE anymore. We're just going to say this is the model of instruction that has helped get us off the accountability clock. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, what does IE stand for?
Instructional empowerment. It's our partnership that has been state mandated, that the district selected for our partnership while we continue to work off of that accountability clock, referencing the state report card. So once again, how does this wrap into the question about safety, security, structure, and crisis response? The PM session was dedicated for just that, learning environment structure. So the Galileo folks, the Swagger folks left at lunchtime. We stayed on campus, and in that afternoon we spoke about classroom management, safe, secure, structured learning environments, and then we did clarify to staff the ability and autonomy to initiate crisis response protocols if that arises in their area, and administration or the security team is not present.
You knew I was going to ask, sorry. But how many of the staff were not present? And if, well, you don't have to give me an exact number, but if staff were not present, how do they get this information?
So we have shared Teams Drive, Microsoft Team Drive, and our presentations go into those drives, so a staff member that might not be present can always go back and access presentations.
Is there any follow-up to ensure that those absent staff have accessed that?
I don't know if there is a hard and fast accountability measure, but we do revisit with department chairs and ask for department chairs to exercise some of that horizontal accountability, if you will, and remind folks about you can go and access that, you probably should go and access that, but there's no hard and fast like micromanagement with that.
Any other questions or discussion?
Thanks for following up on that.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'll just ask, when you say the autonomy for staff to implement crisis response, that includes alarms?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, I guess we're ready to move on then to some new business.
We have a list of
Sorry.
Mr. Musha has a question.
Sure.
Before we move on to new business, next week I'll be meeting with Mr. Smith. We had talked about a homecoming parade. I've really been thinking about it. We're gonna move forward with it. One of the biggest things, I did briefly talk to Mr. Smith on the telephone this week, and just need the very first thing before we start planning the parade, we need to plan the route on where it's going to take place. You have a lot, you come out of Mitchell parking lot, we could start at the parking lot at the mall, but it's important. I want to get with, I think I told you, one of your security teams, so we could go out in the community around Mitchell and map the route, because we're going to have to get a permit to do it. And then there's going to have to be probably a police presence to block off, especially if we're going to try and block off part of Academy at some point. But you want the parade, we want the parade so we can put Mitchell's name out there, so they can see what we're doing. So pretty much one of these streets that we're gonna have to go down is gonna be a major street. And it will probably be part, not all of Academy, probably even if we're crossing Academy, but, and more so into the neighborhoods that are major routes. I was thinking like Galley, coming down Galley, coming around and back up, what is that, Murray?
Galley,
San
Murray,
Miguel.
San Miguel.
Yeah,
Potter.
San Miguel or something. The only problem, yeah.
San Miguel.
San Miguel. The only problem, and I've expressed this to Mr. Smith, is this apartment complex down here. Okay, if you have, there have been a major number of incidents that come out of that apartment complex. I don't want to put
The one across
anybody.
the Potter or the one?
Yeah, the one on Potter.
Okay.
Yeah, and stuff. You have some people that will just clock off just to do it, to make a presence. I think that's why I was thinking more San Miguel. Miguel, whatever. Yeah, Miguel, coming down there, or taking it down and coming up, what is it, Palmer Park, around there, because that goes through a major neighborhood too. But that's the one thing on the homecoming, that's where we're gonna start.
Do you happen to know what Coronado's route is? I think they only do their parade in Old Colorado City.
Yeah.
They do it in
Yeah.
Colorado
Yeah.
City. And they have
Colorado,
all of the elementary schools, middle
Yeah.
schools in that area as part of it.
Yeah, 'cause I was thinking on that point, invite all the middle schools, the elementary schools, the Air Force Band, even reach out to probably the Army Band too, and find out where, who in Colorado Springs has the dance teams and the cheer squads and stuff, and then look at for the floats, have each class 9th through 12th grade do a float, and then also have the alumni. And get them all, and then you just put all the kids, the whole community of the school together for that parade and stuff. But mainly the elementary schools, I know Jack Swigert, but every other middle school you have around here, since it's a school choice community, let's get them all involved. And you might want to look at who you're playing and get them involved too. If they got a marching band, I don't know if Mitchell's band marches.
The traditional marching band is pretty much abysmal at this point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but we do have a pet band. There could be something where maybe they're on the back of a flatbed or something. I mean, that's dangerous. Maybe erase that. Whoever's here, that was it. But something, we can figure out something.
Yeah, I suggest strongly you go talk to Coronado, because I know for a fact, as soon as last year's homecoming parade is done, they start planning for the next year. It's quite an involved process. So.
And they also have more than schools part of it too. There's like community floats and things, and local banks. Whoever's willing to.
Yeah, and we're already at the end of this year, so that means homecoming is usually in September. That means.
Do you know the date?
I don't off the top of my head, no.
If during the summertime, I know it's going to be a busy summer this summer. Will we know who our class officers are for next year?
Not yet.
Not yet. And we just got to bring it out to the students and start a committee with the students too. We can put it together.
What about the JROTC? Can they reach out to them too?
Yeah. It'll take a big effort, but I'm interested in doing
It's a
it.
big to do. It's a big deal.
But it'll be great pomp and circumstance for this community. So
yeah. Because if they go through old Colorado Springs, I know Coronado is over in that area, closer, then maybe we could come up Academy and stuff. If they just detour the street, it's not going to be all day. But this is the first time Mitchell probably has had a parade in years.
Do you know who to talk with in law enforcement about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go down there and I'll find out, and also go down to the mayor's office. I know you're gonna have to get a permit from the city council, so they can probably put their input in too. And what I've known, because I didn't even know, I was mentioning it at the VA, and my doctor graduated from Mitchell. He was interested. He's happy to see us getting ready to do something. Okay, but I'm just putting in there, because by August, it's gonna be crunch to get it together, but we can do it. We can do it.
So when when or where or the planning for this will begin?
I would like to start in May with the classes. The students that are going to be here next year, at least bring it to their attention and get a committee. Let's get a committee. I'm available at the end of this year, most of June, July, most of July. The only thing is, how soon in September would that be?
for the actual homecoming game,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I would have to double check with Mr. Short, our athletic director, and see what the schedule's looking like for next year. I could bring that back. I could have it by the time we meet next week.
Yeah, we just got to get a time schedule to start putting things.
So, I love your enthusiasm, and I think you have great ideas. And I appreciate the forethought. Like, you're absolutely right. There are certain steps that have to be taken, and they do have very specific timelines. If we're going to request law enforcement presence or to shut down the road, those have to be done so much in advance. So you're doing a great job, and I think that I am going to nominate you as the task force chair to take this on.
You already did it.
I second.
It's when.
She was saying to continue.
But the superintendent did say he would budget it.
Okay.
Whatever
Yes,
we
'cause
need.
it's not there.
He promised us he would.
He said it.
He said it.
He said
It's on record.
Makes the budget happen.
This is true. So, but along those lines, the SAC, the current accountability committee, or anybody interested can absolutely be supportive and participate. But this truly is a more task force kind of committee, as you just said, and or more of a PTA support type of situation, and we don't have a PTA. So those of us who are able to support on the side, that would be awesome and appreciated. But if you would like to start planning with individuals on the side with your task force committee, can we contact you directly?
Yes, and like I said, I'll be meeting with Mr. Smith this week. There'll be a lot of work. I'm gonna take work into May, try and get a student committee together. Straight into August. I'm gonna lose a week out of August because I'm getting married on the 15th of August.
What?
That's actually more than one.
Yeah, so I'll be out for about a week. No, the wedding ain't gonna be that long.
So I suggest.
Yeah, so it's just, I'm looking at time frame, and I'm ex-military, so when I'm pretty much on it. When I want to get something done, is a timeline, and you have to make those deadlines to make it happen.
So I'm going to suggest that after next week, after the two of you meet, you send out a message to this group of people and or Mr. Smith, if you would like, to the Mitchell committee or community and say, hey, this is our goal.
Absolutely.
And so if you're interested, please contact whoever
Absolutely.
and get that going. I suggest you, when the two of you meet, come up with like a calendar, a schedule of, when 2 or 3 planning meetings can happen during May.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, my voice is awful. Any other suggestions or questions quickly on the parade?
You did it.
Didn't do it. It'll be better.
It automatically shuts down after a given amount of time.
It was supposed to be touchscreen. It'll be back up in just a second.
So speaking of getting community involvement, which the parade and the task force can very easily tie into community engagement and MIS for the UIP, the Unified Improvement Plan. So also as Mr. Smith and the school community and the accountability committee consider and plan for the improvement plan of 26-27, you may want to think about how you can tie together events like the parade into your community engagement MIS. Also along planning and getting community engagement, Mr. Smith, I want to ask you your understanding of the proposed SAC survey.
Tell me more.
So the SAC has offered and hope to initiate a staff-based survey asking for community engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just wondering what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, I'm open to the survey. I know me and Rebecca spoke about that at the end of the last meeting. I asked to preview any surveys. I did receive it late last week, I believe it was.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. And so the intent was to deliver it on Monday morning, so Friday was too short notice to put it out to staff. So now we have the some of the district involvement, which was interesting, how that all came about. The survey actually got released to Superintendent Gall before me, and so that's where some of that got interesting. But either way,
Somebody has a
I'm-
magic finger that presses a button and sends it.
I told everybody I'm happy to release as many surveys as we think we need to. I think that we do need to be careful about how we do that because our staff, this staff in particular, takes a lot of surveys because of the top-down pressure from the state. And I'm going to give you just a sec. I see you itching over there, Brookie. But we have to be very cautious about how we do that. We ask our staff to give us, we are so data heavy at Mitchell High School because of circumstance that we need to be careful about how we do that and how we go about that, but I'm open to it. I don't know exactly how it got released to central offices first before it got released to me.
Quite interesting.
But
I'm not permitted to do that.
but
That's quite interesting.
but I'm always open to transparency. It was also relayed that, you know, we're not trying to do a witch hunt, and if that's absolutely the case, I'm happy for my staff to get surveyed. But if the intention is to undermine leadership, not only at the administrative level, but we also have great teacher leaders who are stepping up and who are bought in to the Mitchell mission vision, not only the Mitchell mission and vision, but the district mission and vision. If we are looking to survey staff to undermine mission and vision and culture that is being built, I'm not for that, but I am absolutely open to transparency. So it's interesting how that all came about, and I've just kind of been sitting quiet, seeing all of the banter and rhetoric being tossed around, much of which has been combative with many members of this group with one another. But I think what I would like to just suggest, and this is why I actually formed the meeting room in this fashion, to form a circle, because we're actually together. Though
It's about time.
it seems like people in this room are against one another, which is interesting.
No.
Did I answer your question?
Can I share
Yeah.
why?
Brookie
Can I
actually
share?
wanted to, can I interrupt? Brookie actually wanted to share first.
Yeah, no, you kind of, I think, read my mind for a little bit. Near the end of the year, teachers have an insane amount of stuff that we are doing. If you are going to release a survey, you have to be very conscientious of a few things. One, near the end of the year, teachers have been non-renewed, so if you release it to all of the staff and they're just upset, you are going to get a mouthful about anything and everything. For better or for worse, but just be aware that that does happen. Two, you will get ignored by several teachers because we are trying to get our finals ready. We are trying to grade our finals. We're trying to get our grades and our students prepared, and it takes an insane amount of time to do that. In addition, we have this testing for PSAT, SAT next week. We have STAR testing in 2-3 weeks after that. We have seniors taking finals 2 weeks earlier than everyone else.
Yeah.
So like this next month and a half, we are, I mean, busy doesn't even,
I think the
that's
whole
an
district
understatement.
is busy doing that.
And
I do think it is a good thing to ask about teacher ideas about how to engage the community. I'm just concerned about the timing of it and how much feedback you are actually going to get for what you're actually looking for.
And maybe quality too.
Okay. The purpose of this was basically to provide the answers to the principal. I've been requesting this for years now, okay? This isn't something that just came up, but I've been requesting it for years. Just basically to show the principal, give the principal the results, and let him do what he may with the answers. Because I believe that there are teachers that have concerns, because I've already been approached and I've been talked with by teachers with concerns that have not been addressed.
Such as?
I don't.
That's why the survey,
Well-
so you can learn
Well,
those
surveys
things.
could be skewed,
I
but.
can't voice what a teacher said
Yeah.
in
No, I hear you.
public, because I think that's something for you to hear.
This is not
So
combative.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a follow-up question? Because we do take surveys where we give feedback about Mr. Smith throughout the year. And like, teachers have options to voice things at that time. The 5E survey, is that correct? Is that the name of it?
5Es.
5E survey.
And others. but-
So like, so my question would be, how is this survey then intended to be different than the ones that we are already taking?
Totally different, okay? There are, I think Sharon ended up with 13 questions. Parents gave input. We got parent input, we got SAC input. And I don't know who else gave input into this. I gave one question, that's it. But it's basically a support system for the principal. This is not for us. This is for the principal to get some feedback from the teachers. Yes, I understand the 5E. The 5E, everybody fills it out. I filled it out already because I work at Keller Elementary, so I had to fill my part out. So it's not to undermine the administration in the building. We want to support the teachers in the building. We want to retain teachers in the building, because I was looking at the personnel recommendations. There are a lot of teachers that are resigning, retiring, or they are not. Okay, I get it. I understand INR, and I don't have a problem with INR if the teacher doesn't meet the expectations of the school culture. Then yes, why keep that person if they're not doing what they're supposed to do? But a lot of us have been teaching for a long time. Sharon has been teaching. Miss Webb teaches. I've been teaching forever. I'm going to be 70 this year. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But we've been teaching, and we understand how teachers can feel like they're being pressured to answer questions. But it's not for us. It's an anonymous survey, basically to provide the principal with input.
And also not to be
And I said at the
taking,
last meeting, I'm open to it.
and,
Yeah.
and not to take away
Yes.
from any planning time or teaching time. It's to be done during the staff meeting. So we're not encroaching on your time, because some of us know what teachers go through from firsthand experience.
I mean, like, I hear that, and like, I know there's meetings for, I saw those like district invites come out for this, so I know this is gonna get discussed further. And I don't know, here's my pushback, my only pushback that I have for this. Every time you say it's not going to take extra time for us teachers, it takes extra time. Even if it's during a staff meeting, those staff meetings could be used for other things that we now have to do on our own time. So like if we have a survey being done in the staff meeting, then what we could have been doing there is now added onto our plate at a different time. So there's always a buildup of time. And I have nothing against the survey. I haven't even read it. I have nothing
It's
against
a
like
great
talking
survey,
to this.
Cookie.
Oh, I believe it is. but like my pushback, and I think what you were going to see when we do this, because I'm not saying if, I'm saying when,
Yeah.
is that you will not get the amount of responses that I think you were hoping for at a certain time, because I know you say we're going to do it during staff meeting, that's fine.
I'm so sorry.
So maybe we'll get more.
I had a previous engagement at 7, so.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
But I will be here next meeting as well.
You're
Thank you.
going to be here from now on, right?
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
And you, Charlie?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night.
Since, and I understand, because you're being busy, and then even if, say, Mr. Smith, one of your staff, and he just gives a survey and gives it to you guys, and you guys fill it out on your leisure, and then bring it back to, because like I said, it's not the bash.
It's
but
anonymous.
No, it's
it's right, nobody
anonymous.
knows, right, so nobody knows.
Anonymous,
Anonymous.
and Mr.
You can't
Smith will
send it
get
along
it
the-
after.
Oh, just
Rebecca
put the
gets
survey
it.
down and, like, don't, he has to see nobody pick it up, just put it at the.
In a box,
In a box.
in a box.
Put it in a box, yeah.
So, because
Okay,
the whole
gotcha.
thing is to protect the openness
Right,
of this.
Gotcha.
That's really important. And, you know, and we've asked about this, on the 5E, we've gotten the results in the past, and the question has come, well, why is this the result? And the answer is, don't know. So this is a way to get to the don't know.
Follow-up question. During that planned meeting that I accepted I'm going to, so fun.
Which we're surprised is gonna happen, because this is like, it should just be internal.
Yeah. Right. Like, I'm assuming during that time, there'll be a discussion about these questions, or like.
That's up to Principal Smith.
Who?
Who said that? Hey, I gotta be honest. This whole thing, I'm gonna be honest with you, is comical to me. I just have to be honest. It's comical. All of that banter didn't even have to happen if somebody would have just ran it past me first and earlier. That's all I would say.
Whoever it was who did
It wasn't me.
I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying whoever it was,
That's right.
and we didn't even have to spend. It's comical to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been watching all of that. I didn't even turn on my sitcoms this week. I've just been watching the email. It's funny to me.
So see what happens when we bring things out and speak openly. It's amazing.
So the survey discussion session for anybody who's watching online, in the interwebs, and in person here is Thursday, April 23rd, 5:30 to 6:30
Yes.
here at Mitchell.
Yeah.
If you need that invite, please let
Already answered.
Terry left, so maybe
You can't take it with
give
you.
Miss Jordan before you leave. We'll make sure you get the invite, but that is April 23rd, 5:30 to 6:30.
So I have a question.
Right here.
Since we have all dealt with this survey, the discussion about what could be some issues and yada-da, do we need to meet with the people downtown?
I can't even answer that question because they're not here. See, this is what this SAC has to understand. When you circumvent me, I
didn't.
Somebody did. Somebody did.
Somebody
I promise
did.
you. Well,
Somebody.
I don't know who we're pointing fingers at, but I'm just saying somebody did. I don't know who did. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Gotcha.
But when this SAC circumvents me, I can no longer provide top-down shelter for anything. I told Rebecca and you at the end of the last SAC meeting, when it went off the rails, that I am open to this, and I still am.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have enough time to review it because I received it on Friday, and you wanted to release it on Monday during a general PLC. That's not fair to me to have that little amount of time. So with more time granted to me and whoever released it outside of me, if they would have just come to me, I could have reviewed it in a timely fashion, and I have no
And
problem.
ask for an extension?
I have no, well,
Yes.
yeah, because like I said, Friday wasn't
I
enough
think
time.
we should have the discussion. I
Yes.
believe we need to have the discussion.
Yes.
It needs to be done because, fairness to Principal Smith, he needs to be able to say, well, I don't know about this question. I have a question about the question, okay? So he needs to be able to review it, look at it, and discuss it with us because we need to be present too.
And that was agreed upon, and that was actually, it was released to me, but it just came after the fact that it was released to central admin. So the last piece of my response is, because that happened, which is circumstantial, and it is what it is at this point, now, y'all aren't my boss. My boss is telling me we need to go through this process, but if my boss would have never found out about the survey, they wouldn't have been involved. But now that my boss is involved, my boss now says, well, we need to go about it this way.
But it's it's contrary to what the CRS says. You know, if you look at the Colorado Revised Statute about the SAC, downtown has nothing to do with any surveys that we want to distribute.
I'm not an attorney,
Well,
so I guess I'll have to trust
But
you.
it's true
It's
what
true.
she's saying, the policy does state that. The district, we're a volunteer group, we're a volunteer committee, okay? And
And
the
I appreciate
district,
y'all.
we fall under DAC, we fall under the DAC, okay? And so the DAC, if there's other guidelines or whatever, the DAC needs to tell us, okay?
So my understanding is Nicole Ottmer, who has the closest partnership with the DAC, maybe the best way I can say it, will be at that meeting to help us develop the survey.
and do know DAC does not police SACs. It's amazing.
I trust you.
We're just learning so much.
Again, I trust you.
Those are those moments when we show up, we have the discussions, they give their input, you say thank you,
And then we do.
then we do what we gotta do.
Yeah, no.
With the principal.
I'm not.
With the principal.
I'm not offended by any of it. It was just, again, comical, and it was an interesting sequence of events, if you
So
will.
you've seen the questions. Do you have any concerns?
Yeah, I do have concerns.
What are they?
It's going to take longer than 10 minutes that you
Yeah.
asked for to answer them
Yeah.
all.
Wow. It's
And
6:30.
and then I'm going to be dealing with upset teachers.
I mean, I can, from a teacher perspective, give a 30-second questions about questions. Some of them, once again, we deal with data all the time. Some of those questions are not inherently clear with what they're asking. And I feel like phrasing could be a little bit better, intent could be more clear. And if we could get that into the question, I think it would be beneficial.
Well, take Rebecca's copy and mark the ones, and then we'll fix. We're happy to do that.
Can I ask who created this survey?
All
Was
of
it
us.
just, it was
All
who's
of
all?
us.
Parents and you guys?
Parents gave questions.
Anybody do?
Every-
I just compiled it.
When we say everybody, that would imply Irene.
So everybody received the same email
Okay.
saying if you have questions to submit them by.
Okay.
Yes, I read got the email too.
Okay. No, that, and
And
again,
even Laura.
yeah. Okay.
Did you submit?
I'm going to, I was like everybody else, it was like a circus. I was just looking at, when I was reading through, okay,
Like, how did this even happen?
yeah, and I was like, okay, who gonna come back with, next with what comment? I mean, I even had to call Terry this morning, because when it came to certain people couldn't make another time, that stuff is so jumbled up in there, I thought they were talking about the SAC meeting. I said, so SAC meeting,
Which I clarified for everybody. You're welcome.
Okay.
What's next?
Did you mark some of them?
Oh, you want to mark them now?
Yeah. We're not keeping that survey.
So you already taking her time? No, I'm just joking.
You guys continue.
So you already got more work, see, Brookie?
Okay, well, hopefully that clears some things up. And hopefully we will have a very productive and amicable meeting on the 24th.
23rd?
23rd Thursday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
5:30 at 6:30.
The rest of our business has to do with a lot of future planning, except the site-based budgeting. Do you want to do a really short based budget?
I want to do a thorough job,
Yeah,
but it is 6:30.
yeah.
I'm willing to stay, but it's going to take my presentation part because I do want to do a thorough job and I don't want to rush through. You do have the slide deck. I do believe Terry shared this slide deck with you. We could preview it and then we can come back and ask questions of
Okay.
it on the next meeting. Totally
That
up to
sounds
you.
good. Yeah, that sounds good. And that'll tie smoothly into the 26-27 UIP.
Mhm.
And also in May, we need to talk about the SAC calendar and officers for 26, 27. So I'll put that in your back pocket for now. Please be thinking about what works for you all and what, if we can gather any information, maybe we could survey the community about how we could get more involved. I'm joking. But anyway, it would be nice to have more involvement, more engagement from the community at large. So like the school community, not necessarily the neighborhood community.
I have a question when you mentioned the officers, because the next meeting is our final meeting. Are we doing a vote for officers at the next meeting? Is that going to be on the agenda?
Do we do it next? Do we do it at the last meeting or at the first meeting of the next year?
It's the SAC's discretion, so we can do it either way, actually.
I'll let the co-chairs kind of then guide that.
If we don't do it the next, Mr. Bibbs can do it either way, but what is the word? Appropriately, I guess, will probably be stepping down unless the other co-chair elected is a parent, because at that time I will not currently be a parent, and the chair really is supposed to be a parent or a co-chair. So
it's true.
If Mr. Bibbs and a different parent do it, or a different parent and whoever, great, but I will not be a chair or a co-chair, or I could be a co-chair, but I won't be a parent.
We hope to have a parent.
Yeah. That is really the expectation.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
okay, so in May, on May 14th, Thursday, May 14th at 5 p.m., we will come back and we will talk about site-based budgeting, the 26-27 UIP, and the 26-27 SAC calendar and officers.
Charlie Boggett has a question.
Mr. Hopper.
Let's make sure we can get in.
Yeah, it's always the north door, it's the
For-
only one that.
Are the
can-
doors open then?
Yeah.
The-
The north door is
Okay,
open.
that's good enough, thank you.
Yeah, the north doors are the best because we can key those down. When they put in the new vestibule, they didn't give us the latches that we could key down. So north doors when we enter.
Maybe we can make sure that's in the weekly with the SAC.
I will update that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good
Thank you, everybody,
suggestion.
for coming and putting up with my voice.
Yeah, I feel
and
better.
Being open and collaborative with all of our topics.
Thank
for
you.
your voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm turning off the WebEx.
Well, Edward, at least you're not getting married and surprising us.
He surprised the night.
That was the surprise.
That came out of nowhere.
Not after the
Those who
fact.
got married and told us after the fact.
I was married.